Am I the a-hole for not giving my ex-husband back his money? My ex-husband cheated on me 5 years ago, and I found out when he texted me instead of her. That ended our marriage, but the divorce was amicable. I told him that I couldn't forgive him, and he said he was sorry, and we moved on. By that time, he had worked a small fortune, a company, 3 commercial properties, and a lake house. I got half of everything, and I am a silent partner in his company, getting returns twice a year. As an apology, he also gave me our apartment and lake house. It goes without saying that I don't need to work, but I still do because I love my career. He moved on with his affair girlfriend. I don't know much about them since it still pains me, but all I know is that they're still together. She contacted me in LinkedIn, telling me that since the divorce has cost him so much money, he has told her that he never wanted to get married again, nor move in together. And she blames me because I took everything. She is now pregnant, and according to her, my ex said that this wouldn't change his attitude towards moving in together or marriage. So now she is accusing me of being a thief, who is basically stealing her baby's chances of having a family. That I didn't need the money because I have a good job and everything was my ex-husband's. That I took advantage of him because he felt guilty. I haven't spoken to my ex in 5 years. I haven't even had the strength to answer him back every New Year to tell him to stop texting me Happy New Year because that's when we met. I don't know what to do. Is she right? Or should I ignore her? Now for the top comments before reading the mini update. Just block and ignore her. She played a stupid game and won a stupid prize. This is probably the best right answer, but I'm old, jaded, and just a little vicious. Personally, I'd send screenshots of her text to your ex-husband. But that's because I'm old, jaded, and not very nice. Me too, because I would have engaged in option 1 and 2. Go off and send it to him. Truth is that he probably doesn't want to marry her and is using OP as an excuse. After all, he's still contacting OP on New Year's. He doesn't sound like a catch, and neither does a fair partner. Yup, he regrets the divorce and won't get married because he's holding out hope. He gave her extra things in the divorce because he cares. If he didn't, he would have given her the bare minimum and dragged it out. So the homewrecker is blaming you for his fate. That's rich, not the a-hole. About the only thing that's rich about her. I bet you she pursued him because of his money, and now he won't marry or move in with her even after she got pregnant. Something tells me she tried to baby trap him. At least she can get hefty child support for 18 years. Not the a-hole. She expected to get the guy and all of the marital property. It's not your fault that this loony person didn't understand that marital property is half yours. Send a message on to your ex. Politely tell him that you don't appreciate his girlfriend contacting you to ask for money and to complain about their relationship status. Ask him to have a conversation with her about leaving you alone. I think she knows marital property is half. Hence, she wants to get married to him, but he won't do it. I've seen a lot of women who think this guy has a good job, a nice house, and a luxury car, and chase after him, but don't also consider that his wife of 10/20/30 years is entitled to half of everything. And the guy could end up paying child support, college costs, and/or alimony after divorce. Also, the guy and his first wife may have built a good lifestyle based on their spending/savings/investing decisions. But the second wife, who didn't work for that money or invest it slowly over time, may not have the interest or personality to add to the household wealth. That's the kind of woman who marries a guy, and then complains that he doesn't have as much money as she thought. Yeah, he has half as much money, more expenses, and the added burden of maintaining the expectations of the new wife/girlfriend. Mini update. Thank you everyone for the fast response. I was considering one of 3 options. Tell her off, tell him/forward her message to him, or ignore and block her. The majority are suggesting the latter, and I am inclined towards that too. Thanks and have a great weekend. I will try to read all your comments, but they're coming too fast. Sorry. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to repropose after my fiancé lost her engagement ring? I, 29 male, proposed to my fiancé, 28 female 6 months ago with a beautiful ring that I saved up for over a year to buy. She was thrilled, and we've been happily planning our wedding since then. Last weekend, we went on a trip to the mountains for a little getaway. During one of our hikes, she realized that her engagement ring was missing. She was devastated, and we spent hours retracing our steps, but we couldn't find it. When we got back home, she asked if I could get a new ring and re-proposed to her to recreate this special moment. I told her that I understood how she felt, but buying another ring of the same quality would be financially challenging for me right now. I suggested that we could either wait until I could afford a similar ring or get a more modest ring for now and upgrade it in the future. She was upset and said that it wouldn't feel the same with a different ring and that the magic of the proposal was lost. She insisted that she wanted the moment to be recreated just as it was before. I told her that the important thing was our commitment to each other, not the ring or the proposal itself, and she accused me of not caring enough about her feelings and said that if I truly loved her, I would find a way to make it happen. Now, there's a lot of tension between us, and she's been distant ever since. I feel like I'm being practical, but she feels like I'm not valuing our engagement enough. Am I the a-hole for refusing to re-propose with a new ring under these circumstances? Not a-hole. I would be horrified if I lost the ring my fiancé got me. No way would I expect him to replace it with conditions. Would really consider who you've asked to marry you and where their priorities lay. In the future, however, I would ensure the ring. Not only replace the ring, but redo the whole proposal. Lots of main character syndrome going on here. Run, OP. She is horrible to expect any of this. Hello, the door is open. Leave while you have the chance. You just got a view of what being permanently attached to her will be like. She ought to be ashamed for caring so little about securing something so precious. Not a-hole. If you really loved me, it's a trap to try to get you to do something. Not just illogical, but counterproductive. You have actual things that you need to use your resources on, besides sentimental, non-pressing moments to recreate. This actually sounds like some sort of test to see how far she can push you. Tread carefully. I would retort back, if you really valued our engagement, then you wouldn't have lost a ring. 100%. If anyone is entitled to be angry, it's you. If she can't take care of one precious ring, how many do you have to keep buying if she keeps losing them? I am wondering if the girlfriend really liked the ring and proposal at all. Oh no, lost a ring. Do over. Seems like a great way of getting what you really want. Next story. Am I the a-hole for saying that my ex-husband was just like his father because he canceled on our daughter yet again? I'm making this fairly quick. I feel like I went a tad bit far with my comment. So me, 36 female, and my ex-husband, 38 male, were together for 6 years, married for 2 before he left me. At the time, our daughter was a year old. She was 5. There were no warning signs. I left to go do a grocery shop, came home to him and his clothes/things gone, left a note saying he was in love with a new woman and wanted a divorce. Just like that. I got absolutely no closure from that. Any calls or messages were dodged, even when they were about our daughter. Literally nothing. During our divorce, he tried to fight for full custody despite at this point not having seen her for 6 months, which was denied because he was in the military and at times constantly moving. I got full custody. He got supervision with holidays if he's not deployed. Shortly after our divorce, he married his now wife and they settled down in the city we live in. He's still in the military, but now he's on a specific base. I asked if he wanted to revise the custody since he was no longer traveling. He said no need, and he wants to take things slow. Since our divorce, he has maybe seen her 11 times, over what, 4 years? And mind you, he literally lives in the same city. Travel isn't a problem. My daughter is in therapy for this, just to process the absence/broken promises from her father. Typical I'll pick you up this weekend, only to be last second. Anyway, on to the issue. I got a call from him Friday night. He was supposed to pick our daughter up at 8 a.m. Saturday. I got a call at 1 a.m. because I was up working. And he basically says that he can't take our daughter to his place this weekend. After some back and forth, he says it's because his wife is upset with him spending time with her and that she gets jealous. Yes, jealous of a 5-year-old. Absolutely ridiculous. I've been fairly cooperative this entire time, but Jesus, I was so upset. Like a buildup of emotions, I just started yelling at him, calling him a sack of turd and a disgrace. I mentioned our daughter being in therapy, how upset she was seeing some of the other kids with dads. In her preschool, there was this dad day where the kids brought their dads to do activities with them. They had a mom day the previous week, and he promised to show, but pulled out last minute. I had to give her a sick day because she was so upset. So I really started going in on him. He gets angry and starts yelling and cussing back. Eventually, he got quiet, and I ended up saying, "You know what's really freaking funny? Our entire relationship, you made a big show about how much you hated your dad, how horrible he was to your mom and siblings, how your biggest fear was becoming like him. But honestly, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because you are just like him." This was said in anger. He isn't exactly like his father, but there were similarities, which was why I said it. His father cheated on his mother, abused them, and eventually left and abandoned them for another woman. Take out the abuse part, in my opinion, they're the same. He didn't say anything for a couple of seconds, said Jesus Christ, and then he just ended the call. I haven't had contact with him since then. I absolutely did not feel bad at the time. I felt like my words were justified. But the longer it waits, the more I feel like I went too far. I ended up telling my parents what I said to get some feedback, and they said it was cruel and unnecessary. So, am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. If the deadbeat dad shoe fits. OP, you are not the a-hole. He's a terrible father. The fact your parents don't find it cruel how he treats his own daughter. To me, truth hurts, and the fact his wife is jealous of a child is gross. Yes, he is cruel to his daughter. Why are her parents not standing behind her and telling her that her ex needed to hear what an a-hole he is to their daughter? Feel so bad for the little girl. OP's ex is a huge a-hole and loser. Being civil hasn't had any impact. Maybe this will be the wake-up call he needs, so not the a-hole. But you can't let him get your daughter's hopes up anymore. Therapy is good, but the repeated disappointment just causes setbacks for her. Yeah, I've been thinking about this too. It's just draining her, and she's at a point in her life where I feel like him not being in her life full-time would make it easier for her. I've been thinking about giving him an ultimatum of signing over full rights, or getting his act together and being a father. My dad left my mom when I was 2. He tried to stick around for a couple of years after, and it was hard on everyone. I think around kindergarten he stopped completely, and honestly, it was really hard at first, but it was for the best. I remember talking to my grandma and her asking if I'd rather have just one big disappointment or constantly be disappointed, and I chose the first. It sucks, and it took until becoming a mother to come to terms with it all. How a parent chooses not to be in their kid's life, I will never understand. And I'm so sorry you and your daughter are going through this. You are definitely not the a-hole. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not allowing my girlfriend to be a stay-at-home mom, even though I could afford to? My 29 male girlfriend, 23 female Emily, and I have been dating for 4 years and have lived together since last October. She graduated from college last year and was able to get a job that paid an okay salary for an entry-level position. She didn't like the job too much, but she mentioned that it had good opportunities for promotions and would look good on her resume, so she hoped to move on to more interesting work that she is more passionate about soon. In January, my girlfriend became pregnant with a girl by accident. It wasn't planned and we considered abortion, but decided to keep the baby. We have since been preparing for the birth. We have good relationships with both my and her parents, and both sets of parents have said they would be willing to babysit our daughter for free. Recently, my girlfriend told me that she would like to quit her job after the baby is born to be a stay-at-home mom. Her reasons for doing so were, 1, she's getting very attached to our baby, even though it's not born yet, and the idea of dropping her off with a babysitter, even if that babysitter is one of our parents who we know will take good care of it, makes her want to cry. 2, her mom was a stay-at-home mom, which allowed her to have home-cooked meals every day and do lots of fun stuff that she couldn't do with a babysitter. She wants to provide the same experience for our daughter. 3, she no longer likes her job and isn't sure if she wants to continue down the same career path. She regrets her major in accounting and wishes she had majored in something she is passionate about instead of something that just makes good money. 4, I recently got a promotion to a supervisory position in my company that came with a pay raise of nearly $40,000, so I can afford to support her and our daughter. 5, she didn't say it, but one of her friends recently gave birth and became a stay-at-home mom, so I'm sure that influenced her decision. She also tried to convince me by saying I would get more intimate moments every day, now that she would have more free time and energy for it, which I admit was tempting, and that she could cook all my favorite meals and do all the chores. I said no for a few reasons. 1. We were planning to buy a house in the next couple of years, and with me being the only one working, that would set us back by years in getting one. 2. I grew up poor. During my entire childhood, I only went to the movie theater a couple of times because my parents could not afford to take me out to do fun stuff like that often. For example, I got a new pair of shoes once a year and bought my clothes from Walmart. With both of our incomes, we have been able to enjoy a very nice lifestyle. We both drive nice new cars, go shopping or to nice restaurants or the movies regularly, and have also been on some nice trips and vacations. With only one income, we would have to curtail our spending by a lot. My girlfriend brought this up, but I don't really want to. With both of us working, we can keep our current lifestyle even after the baby. There are many things I still want to do and places I want to go. And we would have to put all our life plans on hold for several years, since my income alone would not be enough. So we would have to wait until I got even more raises or saved for a long time. 3. I just don't want the pressure of being the only person to provide for my family. 4. Most people don't like their jobs. From what she told me, she mainly just does not like her boss and finds the work boring. My mom had to work a physically difficult job when I was a baby. So compared to her and many other women, my girlfriend has it easy. Sometimes you just have to suck up having a job you don't like. Also, while telling her no, I might have said a reason why she was feeling so attached to the baby was pregnancy hormones, and they would soon pass. So yeah, not my best choice of words. I mentioned this to my friends and my family. I've been told by some people that a true man provides for his family, and that I'm evil for wanting to separate a mother from her baby when I could afford to let her stay home. So am I the a-hole? If she has a major in accounting, she could get a work-from-home job keeping books for someone or something like that. She could work part-time with flexible hours while not leaving the baby. Maybe investigate this as a compromise. I think this, especially paired if they have family who can help care for the baby. I'm 100% remote work from home. My job gives 12 weeks paid maternity leave, but when I did go back, we had someone coming to the house to care for him while I worked for the next 3 months, since her own kids were out of school for the summer. It was great for my peace of mind that I could see him during the day and know she was taking good care of him. Then when he was 6 months, he started going over to her house during the day. Lol, this whole post shows how woefully unprepared you and your girl are for having a kid. Good luck, OP. With both of us working, we can keep our current lifestyle even after the baby comes. Oh, honey.